Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Hedgewitch Tarot and another, this is not, that's not straight, is it? Another one of these very fun videos that I very much enjoy of my recent deck acquisitions. Now, it's not a, exhaustive list, I guess you could say, because it's been quite a bit since I've done one of these. And I don't remember, nor do I keep track. There is no organization there. So, if this is something you would like to see on a more, I don't know, structured basis, there are a couple people I watch who do this monthly. Excuse the camera shaking, I'm plugging it in at the same time. And I love it. I love seeing these sort of roundups. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, I can attempt to be organized like that. Oh, hello, Stevie. Anyway, I think we should just get into it because I've got quite a bit to show here. Starting with the Sacred Forest Oracle. I have been really kind of obsessed with this oracle, and I've seen this one just about forever. I feel like it's in all of the metaphysical stores that I have access to around here. Every time I go, and I always pick it up and I'm like, I don't know. And then I know I definitely saw it on Marlena Teresa's channel, but I saw it in a pairing, and now I can't remember what that pairing was. Which is so annoying, because it definitely was what sold me on it, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. Gosh darn. But regardless, it has proven to be such a great reader for me. I think this kind of artwork isn't something I am historically attracted to. But I don't know, something about it is growing on me. That kind of like, not that I want to say this artwork is like old school, but it's got that kind of sort of feel to it. But that could just be me trying to say it's different than my usual taste. But it's growing on me lately, and I don't know. There's something about this deck that feels really magical. It feels like it really captures the essence of magic in nature. I love the keywords. It's just been really working for me. And actually has been working so beautifully with so many of the decks that I will be showing. But yes, I've been loving that one. That is the Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Lynn. And next I have to show is the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle in a beautiful bag made, I think the shop is called Divine Noctiva on Etsy. I've got quite a few of her bags now, and I absolutely love them. Yes, anyway, you will see a running theme with the decks I've been getting recently. My favorite kind of theme, plants, animals, nature, that of the sort. But this is another one that is by no means new at all. It's new to me, but not new in the world. And I feel like I should go this way. There's a shadow casting, right? Oh yeah, okay, that's better. So this is one that I have entirely leaned away from because of the art style. I am not usually one for this much white space. I don't know, I just don't usually like that. But I saw something recently, some video that I cannot remember whose it was, but they showed more of the guidebook, and that's what really drew me in and impressed me. Because there's really a lot of information, at least as someone who's kind of a beginner to plants and things of the sort. It felt like there was a lot of information compared to some other oracles I have about the specific plant, you know, alongside with the oracle message. And so this is one I have just been really, really loving. And now that I've had it for a bit, the art style has also really grown on me because it pairs so easily with so many decks that I'm using this time of year. And I've loved it. I also feel like it has some really different kinds of plants compared to some other oracles I have, like Trout Lily. I have not seen Trout Lily in any other plant deck I have, and I love them so much. They're really native where I am, so it's cool to see that. But yes, that is the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle. I've been loving that. Now let's show something like new to the world, why don't we? That'll be exciting. And actually, also, in a Divine Noctiva bag, it is my Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Oh my goodness. I feel like so many of us have been anticipating this deck for so long. And there is a bit of a misprint in here where the Wheel and Justice, the numbers are switched. I was gonna wait it out for them to correct that, but like, I'm not a patient person, so clearly here we are. Because when it comes down to it, I don't tend to read super numerically like that, so I just knew long term it really wasn't gonna bother me that much, so here we are. And I love it so much. It's on the new linen cardstock that Llewellyn, I don't know if they're doing that with a lot of things, but they did it with this one, and it's really nice. I'm a big fan. I love the artwork in this deck. I have the Oracle by the same artist, the Compendium of Witches, and they pair so beautifully. I just love the whole theme of this deck. It's so magical. I've really actually been enjoying the guidebook as well. So you can see here, there's 10 for Justice, but, you know, I don't really pay so close attention to that it was gonna mess with me at all, so anyway, it's a gorgeous deck. I'm still really just getting to know this one. This is, like, of the decks here, newer to me, and I've not played around with it too much, but I'm really loving it. I just love everything going on in here. It feels so perfect for this time of year. So that is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Oh, that was Stevie clawing the window screen. Apologies for that noise. Alright, let's see. We've got next... Oh, this is the Fallen Angels Oracle, which, as you can see, I've already made a bag for. And this is one that I saw on Tegan's channel, Cosmic Creeper, and was so fascinated by from the first time that she showed it, which was so long ago. But I wasn't sure if it was something I personally would be interested in working with. But I don't know. I don't even remember what it was that I was like, yes. Now is the time, but I got this probably a month plus ago at this point, and I've been loving it so much. It's been really interesting working with that kind of fallen angel energy. I think the keywords are fantastic. I really love the guidebook, and I just love kind of the grunginess of these images. It's been a really interesting pair with a lot of different tarots. And I do like that. I don't know, it feels to me like this like summer nighttime, but also I can see it being really cool in the fall time. I don't know, it's just a really interesting, different kind of energy for me that this deck has. We're casting shadows again. Come on, Krista, get with the program. Yeah, I don't know that I have much more to say about this one other than it's just really cool. And I like it. I really like it. It's very much like a blunt kind of deck for me, but in the best kind of way. I really like that the guidebook is kind of to the point. It doesn't feel like there's too much to read, which is helpful. Yeah, so I like this one. That is the Fallen Angel Oracle. And actually, so far, all of these have been mass market, which I'm noticing is quite the trend here, minus a few. So next, let's show the mushroom decks I've gotten recently. First being the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. I have been loving this so much, which is no surprise to me. Look at the edging, first of all. It's this gorgeous kind of pistachio green color. But this deck is by Nicola McIntosh, which is the same creator as the Celtic Spirit Oracle, which is one of my absolute favorites. Easy top 10 of all my oracles. I love that deck so much. So when I saw she was coming out with a Mushroom Oracle, I knew I was all in right away. And it has not disappointed. It feels like a little bit more, not to say, the Celtic Spirit I will use as a daily pull oracle, but this one feels a little bit more grounded in sort of that day-to-day kind of thing, where the Celtic Spirit feels very, sort of like spiritual practice driven to me. Where this one feels a bit more like an oracle I could pull, like, in a way of like, how's my day gonna go? I need advice on this specific thing, you know? It's just, it feels a little bit more like that day-to-day kind of pull, which I really like having those two juxtapositioning, that's a weird word, and nor do I think it's what I mean, so, okay. I like having those two energies from the same creator, because I think she writes her guidebooks so beautifully. I love her ideas about the way the world works, and I've been loving this one. So that is the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. And the other mushroom deck I got, I feel like it's no surprise that I was gonna end up with this one eventually, is the Midnight Magic Tarot. Now this is my newest deck, so I don't know this one too well yet, but I've loved what I've seen from just playing around a bit. It is a tarot all on mushrooms, and I don't know, this one, it was right from when I saw it a few months ago on pre-order. I totally fell head over heels for the artwork. It's so gorgeous. I love having decks that feel like they're set in this kind of nighttime atmosphere. To me, this feels like the mushroom version of like the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, how that has the black background, so it feels like that nighttime setting. But I held off on this one for a bit. I don't really know why. I think it was just kind of like, I had the Mushroom Oracle and I was like, do I need, like, the way in which I read tarot, like, do I need a whole mushroom themed tarot? That was the question. But now that I have it, I see the magic in it, no pun intended, because the way, like, the different mushrooms are illustrated really plays into the meaning of the associated tarot card, which is just so much fun to look into and play around with. And I've really, really been loving this one so far. And the guidebook does have some cool information, just a little bit, on the mushroom associated, but it's like every time it really does make sense. It's very cool, and I do love mushrooms. I think they are so awesome. Love finding them, love looking at them. So yeah, no regrets here. That is the Midnight Magic Tarot. A tarot deck of mushrooms. Only thing I don't like about this is the box. It had like one of those cardboard inserts to make the cards fit perfectly, which I was never gonna keep in there. So it kind of just, it bangs around in there, and again, I recently got this, so I haven't had really time to make a bag, but the box is so cool that I don't really want to put it in a bag. But I don't know, we'll see how long this lasts, but love this one. Okay, next up, we've got, let's do this one. This was like a real, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I have this one still. It is so magical. It is the Tarot as Color by Ethel Colquhoun. I might have to zoom out for this because the cards are ginormous. Let's see how this fits in here. Yeah, let's zoom out just a little. That's in. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Now this is one I have just been so curious about because I've seen it on a couple people's channels. I've seen Meg from Rose Honey Ritual using it. Recently, Meg gifted Candy a copy, so she's been using it, and I've loved seeing her interpretations as well. And I don't know, I was fascinated. Jonaki has been using this deck. And it's one of those things where it's like, when I was seeing it on the screen, I was like, I don't get it, and I want to get it. Because I fully believe that there is something to that deck that I am just missing, kind of viewing it through a camera. But I couldn't like really pinpoint what it was. And now that I have it in person, I get it, you know? I get the whole thing about it, because it's like, and I'm not, okay, so I should preface this by saying too that I do love art history, but typically I am not one for this more kind of modern art. I can appreciate it 100%, but in terms of like spending time personally enjoying it, not my thing. So, but with this deck, it really adds this whole other element of paying attention to not only the card associated, but how the colors in each of the cards are working together and moving into the next. This is really one, I tried at first because it's so large, pulling just one card with some other cards from different decks around it, but I really feel like using this deck I need at least 2 of these cards, because they just interact with each other almost. It almost feels like you're watching wet paint, like paint that is still running across the page or something like that, because it really just comes to life in readings in that way, which is not something that any other deck has done for me. I'm not usually one to pay super close attention specifically to like the colors going on, or I don't know, how cards are interacting with each other. It's sometimes how I read, but it's like this deck really doesn't give me a choice but to do that, which is really cool and just so much fun. And I don't know, I've really loved this deck and just all the different ways I've been able to use it. So that is the tarot as color. Very beautiful, very large, very beautiful. All right. Next up, we have a deck in a bag I just finished up. Hold on, let's get it in a pretty bow to show, because the glue was just drying on the ties. Okay, pretty. It is the Faceted Garden Oracle with this yarn in these pastels my sister got me for my birthday. No, for Christmas. And hadn't used it yet, because I was waiting for the perfect pairing, and this was it. The Faceted Garden Oracle by Claire Mack. I do have the Illuminated Earth Oracle, but hadn't really been using it. I think I just like didn't really understand the best way for me to read with it. I think it's because I was trying to use it like I do a lot of my other oracles, where it was like a single card draw from this to guide my readings, and it can absolutely work in that way, but it wasn't really working for me super well in that way compared to some other decks, so I just never reached for it. And then I started, this is with the Illuminated Earth, started using it more as if it was the tarot, and it clicked. And so this deck came up used, I think, on eBay, and because I've just been so into my gardening, I really wanted to try this one out. And I'm so glad I did, because I love this deck so much. I have had it out almost daily since I got it a few weeks ago. Again, I mean, I made it a special bag with my special yarn. I mean, hold on, can we take a moment? That's good, right? Oh, I've just been loving this deck. It really feels like it reaches that spirit of plant almost, where I've got quite a few plant decks now that point out specific plants and getting into that specific plant spirit, but this one just feels like it reaches that plane of existence almost. Just generally, which is really, really cool to use it like it's a tarot with some of my other plant oracles that kind of give a more specific plant energy. And I don't know, I've just really, really been loving this one. So that is the Faceted Garden Oracle. What do I want to show next? Oh, okay, you know, we'll show this one super quick because I feel like this has been all over the place lately. But I finally got the Squid Cake Marseille Tarot. After weeks and weeks and weeks of Andy telling me, like, hey, like, you need to get this. Like, you're gonna love it. I mean, the backs, hold on. The pink, yes. Let's take a moment for the dress, shall we? You know, as always, she was right. Because this little Marseille is so fantastic. First of all, I mean, I'm never gonna say no to a good pink, and that's a good pink. Probably one of my favorites, that bubblegum. Oh my gosh, so good. But I think where this deck really shines is the guidebook, and it's because it has a whole section for the placement of the minors and what's going on with the minors, which really is helpful for someone who is a beginner to Marseille, because I don't think to look at that. That's not something I really think to pay attention to. So having a guidebook that points that out to me is like, hey, when you're reading a Marseille deck, like, that's a whole aspect to get into. That's helpful, because, like, I didn't know, you know? I just didn't. And so here we are now knowing, and just living the life of knowing that Marseille pips are purposeful. Who would have thunk? Probably a lot of people. But not this gal. Except for now. Now we are. And I mean, come on, the toad. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I'm so obsessed with this deck. And it's the cutesiest little size. Oh, I love it so much. Again, we're taking a quick look at that because I know it's been everywhere. And for good reason. I mean, oh my god, I can't. So good. This has been living on my desk because any sort of like quick kind of question I have or like clarification I need, it's been this one. All right, moving on. Ooh, this is a decently new one. The Influence of the Angels Tarot. This is another deck from US Games that they just put out on that linen cardstock that they did with the Golden Tarot. It's been so good. It's been so good. Cannot recommend enough. Now, this is not one I usually would go for because angels, it's not like a energy I really work with. It's just not my thing. But when we're talking about art and art history, this time period, ooh, that is my thing. I love this kind of artwork. So that's a draw for sure. But Andy and I were talking about this deck. Neither of us had it at that point. And Andy was like, OMG, could you imagine pairing this with the Fallen Angel Oracle? I was like, oh my gosh, okay, all right. I'm sold. I'm sold. Now, have I paired it with that yet? No. No, I have not. But I've been using it so much since I got it. I love this deck. The guidebook is fantastic. It actually reads in a more numerological way, I find, which is, it's really interesting, adds something different to what I do. I love it. I've been loving this oracle so much, and I think it also is due to the fact that I've just been really into these kind of found art sort of decks. I love seeing where the angel pops up in the pictures. This Empress card is everything. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Allergy season. You know how it is. And look at this Wheel of Fortune with like the angel blowing on it. I don't know. Really, really cool. I've been loving everything about this deck. I haven't wanted to put it away, which is so funny because like I feel like even just a year ago me would have been like, what are you doing? Like, what is this that we're getting? I don't know. It's the moment. It's the moment right now. And that is the Influence of the Angels Tarot. And okay, we're just gonna flash the box on this one. We don't have to take it out because I finally have my very first ever copy of the Wild Unknown Tarot. Yes, my very first one. I've not ever had that deck. Didn't really think the art style was for me, but then I got in a couple books for review. Do I have them with me? That would have been a smart thing. Hold on. Walking to get it. Okay, I got a couple books for review from, oh my goodness, Running Press's Mystic Coven. And these are from April. And April was Children's Month, so you know I was excited. And Kim Kranz has 2 new board books, meant for like really like younger kids that I just love so much. I love them so much. Like, to tell you, I've been sitting here as a fur baby parent only, reading these to myself. Yes, I have been, because they're so good and so heartwarming. I love them. So it really got me onto Kim Kranz's artwork, and I was like, you know what? Wild Unknown is such like an iconic deck. There's animals in it, like everything there I should enjoy, and I have been. I really have been. I've been loving this deck so much, but I'm sure you've all seen it a million times, so we don't have to spend much longer on that. Next one, Art Through the Eyes of the Soul. Now, I do apologize because I do think this specific version of the deck is out of print, but I will say that it was not hard for me to find. I didn't mean to like specifically get this version, it just was on eBay. But there is a version still available from my research, so from Blue Angel. This one is printed by US Games. Anyway, I saw this deck on Candy Soul and Soil's channel. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. I love the artwork. I love the messages on the bottom here. Now getting to use it, I really love the guidebook as well. It's just a really cool oracle deck. I feel like that's the only thing I have to say about it so far, because, you know, we've not gotten to know each other super well yet, but I just am so into this artwork. I love the border on here. I do think the version you can get now is borderless, so if that's something you enjoy, then you are quite in luck. Cause that is the Blue Angel thing right now. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. Oh my goodness. Krista Lee, Other Side. Thank you so much. Some of the faces are like kind of creepy, but you know, I don't know. It's just this kind of artwork is just, I don't know. It's just doing it for me right now. So that is the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrick Rose. Alright, we got two more to do here. Next up, we've got the Mushroom Oracle, which I love. I love this one. Oh my gosh, I totally lied saying like, yeah, we've got 2 mushroom decks, because we got 3, but this one doesn't really feel necessarily like a mushroom deck. Let's zoom her in. So this is a collage deck that comes from a magazine, I want to say. Yeah, Broccoli Magazine. The artwork is by Bethany Van I am not going to be able to say that, I'm so sorry. The words by Ellen Freeman. Anyway. Did I say I really like this one? I really like this one. I've not gotten to use it too much, but I've actually been using it in Dawn Michelle's membership monthly medicine practice, which is how I've been kind of getting to know this deck. It's been working so well, so well. I really like that we get this kind of title and then 3 keywords underneath. I love any deck that's here to give me 3 different keywords, because it just makes it so extra expansive. It makes it so you can do readings based on the keywords, like you kind of formulate questions to ask yourself off that. Oh, no, okay, I know what is cool about this deck too. It's kind of broken up into three or four different, like, suits almost. Yeah, so there's the forest, the fungal structures, the mushrooms, and the mushroom people. So cool. It's so cool. And so I feel like, ooh, I kind of want to try that now. Like, breaking the deck up into its different parts and doing a reading based on that to kind of get this, like, whole picture of like an ecosystem almost. But I've really been enjoying this one. It's just it's such a usable deck where if you want to focus on the mushroom aspect, you can, but you do not have to, because you just get these really good keywords on the bottom, and the pictures are so interesting and so beautiful. I love this fairy ring card. Isn't that so amazing? This is one that I've even just kind of kept out to look through and really look at the art. I've been loving this one. This rainstorm with the violet. Oh my goodness. I love it. It's so cool. It's so cool. So that is the Mushroom Oracle. Last but not least, that was a weird noise outside. Anyway, last but not least, I've got the Seaweed Sisters Tarot. Now, I got this used off of someone on Instagram who was so lovely and kind. And I had never seen this version of the deck. I had seen the Animal Kin one? I don't know if that's the right title, but that's the only one I had seen. And I knew there was other versions, didn't know this was another version. Or like this was the title and the look of it. But I saw that it was one of those decks, and I've been really, really wanting to try one of them, so I took that as my opportunity to just try one of them, and I've really been loving this one. It really relates. It's cool how each of the different decks by this creator kind of brings in these different natural elements to really kind of specify on certain experiences. This one feels to me like really getting into the emotional body, and I don't know, I wish I should have the card here that explained it, because it really explained it so much better than I am ever going to be able to do. Oh, the Story Medicine Tarot. Okay, so it's the Story Medicine Tarot. This is the Green Edition Seaweed Sisters. Yeah, the decks are just awesome. I've really been loving this one. I pretty much use it as an oracle because you get this really cool bit at the bottom that is your message. And it's felt very ancestral to me. I've been loving pairing this one with the Song of the Grandmother's Oracle, the Medicine Woman Tarot, and the Gentle Tarot. It's been really, really cool with those because it's got this real, again, like ancestral, but like feminine ancestral vibe to it that I've just been really, really loving. Yeah, another cool one. So that is the Story Medicine Tarot Seaweed Sisters, and that is the last I have to show you today. So again, let me know if you'd be interested in getting this on a more regular basis. I can attempt to do so for sure. If there's any of these you'd want to see a more extended walkthrough of, let me know. But other than that, I'd love to know if you have any new decks you've been loving lately, even if they're new to you, like many of the ones I showed. And I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you again very soon.